Hello, good evening. Welcome to another amazing episode of the Friday Night Hangout. Woo! This is our very first episode in this month of October, and I'm so excited to welcome you. I'm really so excited because this is the 10th month of 2023, and gradually we're coming to the wrap up of the year 2023. But mark you, there's still a whole lot of things that can be achieved in this last quarter of the year. And that's why we have dedicated this month to discussing lead generation. Are you excited? Yes. Okay, so but before we delve in, I want you to put the thank God it's Friday. Tell me where you're coming from. Okay, that's right. Just keep it coming in. I see you. Welcome. Yes, keep it rolling all in. Excited, isn't it? So, as always, I would ask you to make yourself comfortable. The conversation tonight is one that would help your business position itself, especially in this last quarter of the year. So, if you're a business owner, if you are a business executive, then you'll find this conversation very important. So, tonight in particular, we're going to be focusing on the basics, the basics in lead generation. What are the first steps in lead generation? Okay, are you ready? Let's hit it in. Now, you know me, I always like to clarify concepts to ensure that we're all on the same page, because I know that we all have different backgrounds, we're coming in from different spaces, and so you may have been hearing lead generation, lead, and you ask yourself, what is it all about? Why should I be interested in this conversation tonight? And I'm going to tell you why. If you're existing as a business, one of the primary things you want to do is to serve your customers, and you also want to acquire more customers. You want to build your your baseline of customers. You also want to expand your customer base, because more customers, more sales, more return customers enables you to predict the future, the growth of your business. And so that's why businesses spend a lot of money in generating leads, ensuring that they can have to a certain level, a predictability of the growth of their business. So you want to pay attention to the conversation tonight. You know why? If you're in business, especially in this social media age, where the social media does a lot of influencing of who we buy from, what we sell, how we'll engage, you want to, as a business, position yourself to take advantage of this digital technology that most people are engaging with, because the world is now a global village. Digital technology has made it so. So let's start first from describing who is a lead. Now, when we talk about lead, in the social media phase, in the digital terminology, what we mean is any person who has shown interest in your product or your services in any way or form, right? Anyone that has indicated interest in your business brand, either the product or services that you offer, that person is a lead. Now, how do they show interest? It could be that they have subscribed to your newsletter, or they have, downloaded a resource that you have, or they have taken advantage of an offer, a free offer that you have, and they do this by way of, giving off their email, contact phone numbers, your email addresses, phone number, their names, or sometimes, their websites, or some those kind of information you collect from them in exchange for the free resources that you give to them. So once they do that, you then know that you have leads with you. So I hope that that's just a basic description of what a lead is. So when you keep hearing the language lead generation, I hope you now understand who a lead is. Now we'll move to the next level, which is lead generation. So when we talk about lead generation, we're really talking about, the way you capture and convert these prospective people into purchasing from your business. So all of these that have shown interest, how do you now turn all of this interest into sales, into becoming your returning customers, into making a commitment to you by way of purchase. Now, there are different strategies of doing this, and we're going to go right deep in. And let's look at where do we start from? Talk to us about what lead is, what lead generation. So, if you're not conversant with this terminology and you keep hearing this, I hope this helps put your mind at ease that this is what a lead is, this is what a lead generation is. So when you're talking with your team, you're planning your marketing, your digital marketing, you can understand the language they are using, right? Now, what are some of the steps we can use in generating lead? Now, the first one I would say is understand who is a lead. You can't be selling to everyone. So you need to be able to determine who is a lead for your business. Now, it depends on what kind of model of business you're running. If you're running a B2B or you're running a B2C. If you're running a B2B, that means you're running a business to business model, meaning that you sell to businesses. If you're running a B2C, it means that your business sells directly to its consumers or to your clients, to your consumers. That there are different types of lead generation for these two kinds of model of business. If you're running a B2B, that's a business to business kind of business. It's more complicated, right? You want to have enough process that can draw in the businesses into your what I call the buyer's funnel, because there are different levels of decision making in a business. It's not the same to like a consumer. A consumer sees something that they want and they just go ahead and buy it. For instance, I see this headgear that Chiamaka is selling, and I love this beautiful headgear that she makes, and I said, wow, I love this headgear Chiamaka is offering, and I just hit the IBC hair concepts and say, I love this headgear, can you give me your headgear? Or I go to Deca Peanuts, she advertises at Deca Peanuts, and I say, Deca Peanuts, I love your peanuts. How much is it? How many can you offer me? And then we transact, right? So it's not the same thing as when you're dealing with a business to business. So you need to understand the kind of business model you have, and then that will determine the strategy that you would deploy in terms of your buyer's funnel and all of that. Now, so that's why I said it's critical for you to understand who your lead is, and so that you would now know what kind of information to collect from them, what kind of information you want to collect. That is very critical. And as one who is so particular about the safe data storage, I would always tell you, do not collect information that you have no need for, that you cannot safeguard. People are very wary these days of just putting out information that, they don't know what you do with it. So keep it to really the basis of what you really need to make a decision as to who really is your target client. And that brings me to the second thing in lead generation, which is understanding your client persona, meaning that you need to understand who your ideal client is. What kind of person is he or she? Do you sell to men, women? Do you use your business just for women? If it's for women, what kind of women? What kind of work do they do? What are their motivations? What are their goals? Because you want to be sure that you're positioning your business to connect to the kind of people you're meant to serve. You don't want to put out your business out there for everyone, and then they don't really need your services. They don't know, this is good, but it's not something that they want to engage with. So you'll be in the wrong space. So you want to be sure that you get as specific as possible as to who your business is meant to serve. Then the other thing you want to do is to create what we call a compelling offer, an offer that is irresistible to your target audience. And for you to create that compelling offer, you need to first of all know who your target audience is, understand their pain area, and then you need to also put out the solution that you're providing to that pain area. There has to be a connection between you and your persona for them to really engage with your business. So you want to put out something so compelling that will attract them, because what you're putting out speaks to their pain area, speaks to the need they have, speaks to what motivates them, and they want, this sounds interesting. Let me click on this and get more information. This sounds interesting. Let me download this free offer. So you can have what we call lead magnets. When you create your compelling offer, you have lead magnets that make them want to come into your buying funnel. And so these lead magnets could be by way of, newsletters, e-courses, free e-courses. So many those kind of things that, would be interesting and attractive to your prospective clients, that they want to come into your space, they want to come into your buying funnel, and that begins your roadmap, the journey for your clients. You want to be sure, how do they come in, what steps do they take in that your space, in your buying funnel, and at what point do you take them into, so that they see what they want, the value that you have, and they can make that commitment to getting that value that your business offers to them. Right now, once you create that your compelling offer, you want to create visibility for it. If you have something beautiful, exciting, and nobody knows about it, then you're wasting your time, because then it's of no use. So you want to create enough visibility, and this goes into looking at the channels you use for your marketing. What kind of channels do you use? You want to be sure that it's a channel that excuse me, you want to be sure that it's a channel that resonates with your prospective clients where they are found in. And you also want to ensure that you have synergy, in all the channels you use. You don't want to be spreading different messages that get them confused as to who you are, what solution you provide to them, that you give them too different things to make a choice from, and they don't even know what it is you're offering. They get confused and you lose them. So you want to be sure that you create visibility for your compelling offer in such a way that it can draw them into taking an action. So you decide what the action will be. We call it a call to action, the CTA. What kind of action do you want them to take? Do you want them to take the action of just dropping their phone numbers in? Or do you want them to click to download? Do you want them to buy? You need to look through it and then really know what it is that they want. So you need to create visibility for that offer that you have put out there. And then while you are creating this visibility for your lead, you also want to make sure that you're putting out engaging content. You want something that resonates with them. It's not just everything that resonates with everyone. It has to be to that. That's why you need to do a lot to invest in research and data to really get to know who you're called to serve, who your business has been called to serve, and then you serve them and give them enough value. People are no fools these days. Nobody wants flippy floppy stuff. You're on the Friday night hangout every Friday, 7 p.m., because you know the value that you get out of it. You share, and you share because you do know that it will be of value to someone watching it. And that's what we're talking about. We want to make sure that you're putting out content that can benefit, your target audience. Because these days, I want you to look at it as service. And when you're providing service, some of us don't like to use sales. You get confused. You get worried about using the sales terminology. Yeah. It depends on, you want to do things in a way that resonates with who you are and what you've been called to do. So you want to be sure that you're putting out engaging content, engaging things that your audience would like. And I'll also ask you to monitor your performance. You want to know how it's doing. You're not in business for just yourself. You're in business to serve. Service first before getting the money, because it's when you serve that people will now want to engage. They get value, they pay for the value that you offer. So you want to be sure that you're putting out content that is of interest to them, that is of value to them. And that's why you need to really invest. You need to invest in data and information, and you want to measure. So whatever you're putting out there, you want to measure and see how it's doing. Who is really liking it? Who is really taking action based on what you've put out there? And then you want to see how it's doing. Is it resonating with your audience? You want to even do some survey to ask your target audience what they would really love to hear or buy from you, or what kind of solution they're looking out for, right? You don't want to exist in your own world where you're operating and doing everything based on only your thinking. You want to be able to reach out there and get constructive feedback from the target audience that you're meant to serve. And then this comes to the next level where you have your strategy. What kind of strategy do you want to put in place? Looking at the kind of business that you run, looking at the kind of capacity that you have inside your business. You don't want to be running everywhere. You will get exhausted without any results. So you want to keep it to a way that there is a good flow. You can monitor your performance. And that brings me to KPI, the key performance indicators. You need to have metrics for measuring what you do as a business. Any business that is not data driven cannot make informed decisions. You most likely will be making sentimental decisions based on how you as a CEO feels, or how you as a solopreneur feels, right? And you think, but you want to know what you're out there to serve certain kind of people, right? You want to know what really they want. And that you can do by investing in research, in data, doing surveys. Simple question you can ask on your page and watch the response, watch the answers, and then you take it and run with it. It's not a one cap size fits all, and it's a journey. See it as a journey. Lead generation is actually a journey. You keep repeating, rinsing till you get to the sweet spot. You keep repeating and rinsing. You rinse, you repeat, you get to the sweet spot where you've come to the place where you really understand what your audience want, and then you're feeling their vibes, they're feeling your vibes, you're connecting, and everyone is happy at the end of the day. But this requires work for you to do. You have to be willing to do the smart work. You have to be willing to do what it takes, because when you're in business and you want to acquire customers, you don't just want to acquire them to leave them out there. You want to be sure that you're providing satisfaction to them, right? You remember when we talked last week, we talked about last 2 weeks rather, we talked about remaining relevant in a changing world. And when we talked about some of the things that you really can do to ensure that you remain relevant in the changing world, we talked at looking at your digital platforms, right? And we talked about having metrics, understanding your brand, being very clear as to why you're in business, understanding your critical success factors. What are the key things for you in the business? What are the key things you're going to be measuring in business? What metrics do you want to put out? When you're in business, it's continuous work. You want to get to the place where you're out there, you're providing that platform to serve your people, whether it's the product you're providing or the services you're providing. You want to be sure that there's a place for excellence, people that engage or connect and get your product or services feel satisfied. Customer satisfaction would be something that you really want to look at. A satisfied customer is a repeat customer. So you want to be sure that you keep getting them into that your space, right? Beautiful. So I don't want to put too much for you. I'm keeping it very basic because I know that this is that time of the year when we need to position our business for the end of the year, big sales. This is that time where you need to start thinking about lead generation. How do you use this period to acquire more customers to your business? What are some of the things you want to be doing? What are some of the compelling offers you want to have for this season? This is the time to start thinking about it. When you keep doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result, I think that's been very unrealistic. You want to get a different result, then try something different. So start thinking about how you can position yourself using lead generation this season. What are some of the offers you want to create? What are some of the things you want to go out and measure? Do you want to invest more time in understanding what the needs of your prospective clients are in this season, right? The climate is changing. How can your business be so adaptable or flexible to the changing times that you're still providing the solution that your clients require, that will keep your customers coming back, that will keep them satisfied, and will provide solution to what they seek? So you can't run away from it if you want to be in business for the long haul. You need to invest in some research. You need to invest according to your capacity. I'm not asking you to go in too deep. Look at where you are right now and determine what can make a difference in your business, and prepare for it and get to action. You keep learning and don't be afraid of making mistakes. Every big business you see today all have a back end story. They all have a back end story. You'll be amazed at the series of mistakes they made, the learning process. The key thing is learning, the lessons from those weaknesses or the gaps that you go through, or the mistakes, and then making it a building block for your success. So you can't be so afraid of making mistakes that you don't take action at all. And you want to invest in knowledge. Just as we're talking about the lead generation, you want to invest yourself in understanding it in depth, what it means, how you can develop the strategy that will work for your business. Get as more information as you can and get yourself, moving. Get yourself moving. Yeah, and when you do this, you will see the difference. Your success is not just really excuse me, by comparing yourself how well your business is doing with the next. It's by looking at where you're coming from and where you are now and giving yourself the permission to tap yourself and say, you've done well, right? You've really done well. This is not that season where you keep comparing. This is that season where you look inwards, position yourself, and get ready to do the smart work. Remember, the more specific you are, the more measurable you make your metrics are, the more achievable that you make your goals, the more relevant to the business, the strategies that you put in place, the offers that you make, that alignment with your business. And then don't forget to make them time bound. Time bound. Once you can ensure that your business is smart and that your lead generation strategies are smart, my dear, you're already on your way to achieving your goals and to creating the business of your dreams. So, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Okay, as we plan to wrap up this session, we're going to take an ad. And then when we come back, I want you to tell me what came true for you in this session. What are the things that has come true for you? What are the nuggets that you're going away with from this session? So see you right after the ad. Stay tuned, don't touch the dial. See you shortly. Okay, welcome back, welcome back. Yes, just to talk about the ad, we have the Rediscover and Thrive retreat coming up in 2024. Yes, yes. Who is excited? I am. Now, this is something that you need to know. The Rediscover and Thrive retreat is not for everyone. I want to put it out there. It's not for everyone. It's for a specific type of women who are in that season where they want to rediscover their next big moves. They want to discover their evolving self. They are ready to rejuvenate. They are ready to network. They're ready to take it up to the next level. But, there's been a mantle placed upon them of service, and they want to just, get in tune in a spirit-filled environment with like-minded women and get 2024 kick-started and rolling and even beyond. So if this speaks to you, then you want to be in that space. You really want to be in that space of the Rediscover and Thrive Retreat 2024. Now, in the comment section, you're going to see the link to get enrolled in the wait list. Enrolling in the wait list is completely free. Yeah, you heard me. We just launched the wait list today. Yes. So I'm excited to see you in the wait list. What do you get in the wait list? You get a 20% bonus from being in the wait list, and then you get 20% off from registration. You also get an additional 10% discount when you refer someone, right? You also get to be part of our amazing webinars where we start our sessions already in preparation for the Rediscover and Thrive Retreat 2024. And you get to be the first among the first that get a sneak into the venue, where we're going to use such a beautiful, serene, amazing venue. It's your reward system for yourself. I'm excited really because, I created the kind of program that I also would want to immerse myself in. I realize how stressed up we as women entrepreneurs, spiritual leaders, business owners, leaders, we do so much. And this season, there's a lot on our plates. So it's your rewards looking for this January 2024 where you can just pause and breathe and be you and get yourself prepared to roll into 2024 and beyond. So if you think this fits you, just click on the link and get enrolled, and you get exclusive newsletters, you get updates, and not to forget the customized souvenir you get when you register from being in the wait list, right? If you're on the wait list and you eventually register, you get a customized souvenir. And also to mention that we have limited slots. When we open up registration, we're only going to take a maximum of 10 women because we want to keep the space small, intimate, and very productive. So if this sounds like something you want to be a part of, then you hit on the link, get yourself enrolled, and I'll see you on the other side. And finally, as we wrap up today's session, keep it coming in. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Keep the nuggets coming in. Great. So next week, we're going to move on to the second level of lead generation. We'll be discussing something more in depth. So I want to keep you tuned. Stay tuned. And remember, always apply what you've gained. New knowledge, apply it. Just apply it. Get your hands in and apply it, right? I love, honor, and celebrate you all. And I look forward to seeing you next week. My team and I is bye for now. See you.